Buenas noches. Gracias Ana y Eliud por acompañarme. ¿Me pueden confirmar si me escuchan, por favor? Ok, parece que sí hay audio normal. Muchas gracias Ana y Eliud por acompañarme nuevamente. Sí, gracias Ana, muchas gracias. Sean bienvenidos a nuestra última sesión síncrona. Como saben que va a ser el tema en inglés, pero podemos platicar en español cualquier duda que tengan. Ana, me vas comentando por favor cualquier situación que tengas paso a paso de lo que vamos a revisar ahorita. Habrá algunas cuestiones que voy a platicar en español también porque son muy importantes. Y estaremos también dando espacio para dudas que también podrá ser en idioma español. ¿Ok? So let's start. So welcome everyone to the last week of our session, of the last week of our Model 6, My World in Another Language. As you know, we're going to end our Model 6 on August 2nd. So this is the integration week. And of course, as we know, the integration week is we're going to accurate all the knowledge that we saw in the past weeks according to the units that we saw on the Model 6. So it's very important to close our Model 6 with the integrative project. So we're going to watch step by step the format or the file of this project of the Model 6, okay? So the last week. So the order of our session is going to review the object of this session, the performance indicators of week 4. We're going to review the project format, how to participate in integrative forum, suggestions for successful closure for Model 6, closing times, additional resources, and then space for doubts. So the object of this last session was going to review the indications of the integrative project to develop in week 4 with suggestions and examples, and we will talk about closing suggestions for the Model 6. The performance indicators of this last week is that going to review the integrative project is a 30% of the total of the model. Is very important. It's a high percent of the total of the model. So we have to concentrate all of our energies in this last project. We also have the title, my personal blog, of course. We also have the self-assessment that values the 5% of the total of the model. We have a social-emotional activity, of course, with our tutor. We have the form activities, introducing ourselves and finding the answer. As you know, we have to click on send everything and end the form extra activities to the platform really knows that we end the activities, okay? And the forums, we have 2 in this last week. We have the integration forum that is titled Making Online Friends. It's valued according to a rubric and it's valued the 8% of the total of the model. We're going to review step by step in a minute how to participate in this space, okay? And the learning forum, or traditional learning forum every week. And in this special forum of the last week of our Model 6, we're going to talk about the importance of 6. Sorry, I didn't say about the self-assessment. It's a reflection through the past of our Model 6. It's a questionnaire, as we know on the other exercise and form activities. It's a questionnaire that you have to do it, and it values the 5% of the total of the model, okay? So the project, let's go first to our traditional infographic that is located on the news forum. And of course, you know you have it in English and in Spanish. And here I try to be very precisely in only one words or a few words. I'm having you here. The purpose of the activities of this last week is to strengthen the learning acquired throughout the previous 3 weeks, so which is why I call the integration week. So we're going to review of everything we know, that we learned, that we study in the last weeks, in the past few ourselves, and provide information best in this personal blog, okay? And qualifying adjectives. We have to download the Finder personal blog that we're going to check it out in a minute. And also we have to record an audio with the questions and answers of the part B. We're going to check it out in a minute too. We have the form activities, integration photo, making online friends, that we're going to check it also. Activities, integration photo, making online friends, that we're going to check it also in a minute. The self-assessment, there is our self-reflection, the passage of our Model 6, which also has a value of 5%, the social-emotional activity 12 with our tutor. And okay, so the infographic is in the news forum, is in English and in Spanish. You can review it and read it very fast. So let's go to. So you have to download the file that is already in the instructions of the project, and it's right here. It's titled My Personal Blog, and as I said, we have already the information that we wrote to the interactive activities in the past weeks, so it will be very easy to. So we're going to pretend to our last project that we're going to make a blog. So we have to show to other people personal information and some information about our city, okay? Place of interest, what I like my city, what I like about my city, what I don't like, what I hate about my city, okay? This is all the topics, the grammatical topics, the vocabulary, the grammatical forms and ways that we saw in the past weeks. So the first entry of our blog is the personal information, okay? So we're going to describe ourselves. And remember that we have the information already in the first activity, my curriculum vitae of the first week. Did you remember that when we pretend that we're going to apply for a job, so we have to give some personal information about ourselves. So you have already the feedback and the evaluation of these activities, and of course the grammatical ways of each answer. So the first question, it will be, what is your name? I have to please notice here that I have to write down complete sentences. So I have to answer like this: María Fernanda Prado Ibarra. Sí, Ana, en un momentito más también lo explico en español paso a paso, ¿ok? How old are you? I am 31 years old. What do you look like? Okay, I look like is my physical appearance. So I'm skinny, medium height, I have green eyes, and short red hair. What do you do? I'm a lawyer. It means not what are you doing right now. It means that what is your occupation, okay? Your professional or your job, or I am widow, okay? Who do you live with? I live with my family, means my son, my husband, my grandparents, or just by myself, okay? It could be like that too. Who is your favorite family member? It could be any one of your family members that can be really living with you, but it's your family member, your favorite family member, okay? So my favorite family member is my cousin, for example. So make sure you're using the vocabulary of week 1, vocabulary as 1, okay? Where are you from? Born or live? I am from Guadalajara and I'm born in Zapopan, okay? Or I born in Monterrey, but I live in Ciudad de Mexico, for example. What nationality are you? I am Mexican. Remember, the vocabulary is 1. You can find there all the words that are here, and of course we already have this information in our first integration activity of my curriculum vitae, okay? So I'm going to this section in Spanish, okay? For Ana and for everyone who need it. Lo que está diciendo hace un momento también es que no nos tenemos que preocupar porque este personal blog que vamos a conformar en este momento como nuestro último proyecto, recopilada, redactada en las actividades integradoras de las semanas anteriores. Entonces esto me tiene que ser de mucha utilidad porque ya las tengo evaluadas y retroalimentadas con las formas gramaticales correctas y por parte de la rúbrica, desde luego. Entonces es muy sencillo porque esta información ya la tengo validada de alguna manera y por eso es que voy a colocarla de esa manera también. Lo que decía que es muy importante dar respuestas completas. No puedo colocar nada más acá ¿cuál es tu nombre? Y solamente colocar María Fernanda Prado Ibarra, sino que tengo que dar una respuesta completa. My name is María Fernanda Prado Ibarra. ¿Ok? Ya decía que en la primera actividad integradora, My Curriculum Vitae, ya tenemos esta información, ¿ok? How old are you? Respuesta completa. I am 31 years old. No solamente colocar 31 y ya, ¿ok? Who do you look like? Decía que look like se refiere a la apariencia física, physical appearance. So, tengo que describirme a mí mismo con el vocabulary S1 que ya vimos en la primera semana. What do you do? Ya decía también que no se refiere a qué estamos haciendo en este momento, sino que a qué nos dedicamos, en qué nos ocupamos. Me dedico a las ventas, soy housewife, o soy salesman, o soy, ya lo vimos en el curriculum vitae, en la sí, o que vivo con algunos miembros de mi familia, como mi mamá, mi papá, mi hijo, mis hermanos, mis abuelos, etcétera, ¿ok? Con quien vivan ustedes, o con un roomie también puede ser. Who is your favorite family member? Ya decía que no es necesario que sea alguien que vive con ustedes, sino que de su familia me digan cuál es su miembro favorito de su familia y que tendremos que también tener respuestas completas, ¿ok? My favorite family member is my mother or my son. Lo que sea el vocabulario es one, que aquí podemos encontrar también todo esto. Where are you from? Born or live? Estoy diciendo que de dónde soy, dónde nací y dónde vivo, ¿sí? Porque a lo mejor el lugar donde nací no es el mismo donde vivo actualmente, ¿ok? What nationality are you? Acuérdense que ya platicamos esto de la nacionalidad, fue un área de oportunidad muy recurrente en la primera actividad integradora. Vamos a decir que soy mexicana, ¿ok? No de que mexicana o otras que también escribían de manera no correcta en el idioma inglés, ¿ok? Y vamos a la segunda sección. The second section, hasta aquí Ana, ¿todo bien? Gracias Andrés por acompañarme, buenas noches. Each question to complete the first or the second part of our blog. Where do you live, Jalisco? How is your city? My city is beautiful because it has a lot of parks, museums, shopping centers, zoos, for example. What places are there in your city? In my city, there are, did you remember these grammar notions that we saw on week 2 when we talk about how to describe some objects of the house? Remember? We use there are to describe or to indicate some objects. Remember that, okay? So in here, in this answer, we're using there are. In my city, there are too many places like museums, parks, zoos, shopping centers, or whatever you like to in your city. What activities can you do in your city? In my city, you can do boreal activities, or you can go shopping. You can do you can go from touristic bus, for example, or you can go to visit museums, etc. Okay, what do you like? What do you like about your city? What I like the most about my city is, or it's another typical answer is I can say what I love about my city is, and I have to write a reason why, okay? Because maybe this is just optional, because when we asking with WH questions, I'm giving a few information, okay? So what I like the most about my city is there are so many places to visit. It's very touristic. The food, maybe. What I love about my city, the people around is very kind, or my neighbors, or whatever you want. What do you dislike about your city? What I dislike about my city is the pollution, or the people that is rude or mean. I don't know, maybe a traffic jam. That could be an option. What do you do in weekends? In weekends, I like cycling with my son, for example. Or I like go shopping. Or I like relaxing, watching movies or watching Netflix, for example, on weekends, okay? So, on the last part... Okay, Anna, thank you. Until here, this section is clear? Or you want me to explain this section in Spanish too? Like I said, please complete answers. Okay, what I like about my city, tell or recording. Okay, in the last part of our of our project. So this section B is the part that we're going to have to record. Please notice this, okay? Section C. Section C. Section C is in Spanish. We have to write down a half of a page about the way we learn in the English and how the English language can develop or can help to develop in the personal, professional, and job context, okay? So this section is in Spanish. The only thing that I have to ask you here to be very careful, because it's a very common area of opportunity, is that we have to consider that a half page it's from 5 to 10 lines, okay? 5 to 10 lines. So please explain here what is your personal view of these three sections: personal, professional, and in a job context. How can the English language can help you in these three sections or three fields, okay? So we have to talk about, for example, or can we take the examples that we are explaining in the learning forum of the week 1 and of course in this last week. We are going to talk about all the benefits that talking English can give for us, okay? So this part is in Spanish. Just consider that we have to do in 5 to 10 lines, okay? Is the only thing that I ask you, that I have to insist in this part. And the last section, on section D, we have to make a recording. We have to make the questions and the answers of section B. So we have to consider the 130 minutes. Please don't be afraid of this part. There's no penalize according to the rubric of this time, okay? So please don't worry about this. You have to read the questions and the answers of the section B, this part of our block, only section B, okay? So don't worry about it. You have to say like this: where do you live? I live in Guadalajara. How is your city? My city is beautiful. What? Because it has a lot of parks, museums, etc. What places are there in your city? In my city there are too many places. What activities can you do in your city? What do you like about your city? What do you dislike about your city? And what do you do in weekends? Okay? Until here, it's the recording. Only section B. Okay? Until here, do you have a question that maybe you need to have that I said in Spanish? Anna, are we good here? Okay, so let's continue. Please let me know if you have some question. I can ask you, I can tell you in Spanish you want, okay? So what about the integrative forum? The integrative forum is very important because it has a value of 8%. Okay, Anna, yes. It's very simple. The project is very simple because we already have this information, this knowledge, this vocabulary that we use in the other weeks, in the past weeks from our model. So it's very simple, the personal block for this last job or last project of our model 6, okay? So there will be no big deal about this part, okay? So the integrative forum, it's important because it's evaluated according to a rubric that you can check it out in the instructions of the forum. The rubric is in Spanish, as you know, and there are the instructions on how to participate in this integrative forum. So I have to make at least 4 participations, at least. So it means I have to do at least or minimum 5 contributions to this space, okay? So in the first contribution I have to say hi to one of my classmates and introduce myself, including my name, my city, my city of origin, and my age. And I have to write about a place of interest in my place of origin, okay? So, or where I live. So I have to say it like this. My name is Maria Fernanda Pradibarra. I live in Guadalajara, Jalisco. I'm 31 years old. One of the main places of interest in my city is Minerva Round, for example. Okay? Right? The second participation that I have to do is to write down 5 direct questions to a partner to know him more. So 5 questions. You can use the WH questions. I'm giving you examples every day, a guidance to how to ask and how to participate every day according to these steps in the integrative forum. Okay? So I can ask about the city, what can you do in your city, what do you do in the weekends, what do you love most about your place, or I can ask more about the family, for example, or something more tribal, for example, what is your favorite food, what is your favorite movie. We can ask everything we want to our classmates to know him more. That's the really object, okay? The third participation, we have to answer the questions asked by your classmates, by my classmates, okay? So I have to answer. What happened if no one asks me questions directly? If no one asks you questions, I'm going to give during the week some general questions that anyone can catch or can take and make their own answers, okay? So don't worry if you don't receive direct questions for you. Please, you have to take one of my questions that I give you for all general questions to make your third participation, because you can not participate if you don't have direct questions, okay? You have to do your third contribution. So please take my general questions that I'm going to give you through the forum, okay? The fourth participation we have to do is to introduce at least one of my classmates that I met. So according of the information that I gained, that I've obtained from my classmate, I have to introduce him. So I have to say like, this is Ana Riveros. She's my classmate. She's 25 years old. She lives in Guadalajara, Jalisco. She likes movies. What I most about the place of the cities of the interest is that there are a lot of museums, etc. Okay, for an example, I have to introduce one of my classmates according to information that I already have. Okay, and the last participation, I have my classmates according to information that I already have. Okay, and the last participation, I have to make an effort to make to another partner or make a conclusion. I have to do questions to another classmate or make a conclusion about what I learned in this Model 6, what I love most about the topics, any conclusion you want about the topics that we saw on Model 6. I'm going to give you also examples for this part, for this section, for this fifth contribution, okay? What is the most? Yes, Eliud, the conclusion, it can be about what you learn in this Model 6, what you like about most about the topics that we saw through this Model 6, anything you want about the model, okay? You can make a conclusion, or you can ask to another partner, another 5 questions that you can ask to another partner, or you can introduce one of other of your classmates, for example, okay? This is an effort to really obtain or gain the 100% according to the rubric of this forum, okay? One of the I have to insist in this part is that a very common mistake or the very recurrent area of opportunity in this forum is that you make all your participations in one day, or you do all your participations, all your contributions the last day of the forum, okay, on Sunday night, for example. So according to the rubric, this is, you have to be there in the forum, you have to hear at least 3 days of the week. You have to participate and make your contributions in 3 different days of the week. So for example, on Monday, I make my first participation. On Wednesday, I ask 5 questions to my classmate. On Friday, I answer the questions of my classmates. And on Sunday, I make my conclusion, okay? Or on the other, and introduce one of my classmates, okay? So I be in the forum in 3 different days of the week. So from 2 or 3 different days of the week, it's the really week, okay? So this will be very helpful to really obtain the 100% of the evaluation of this integrative forum. Am I clear in this part? Anna, am I clear on this section? Because it's very important that you understand how to participate in this forum. That you have to be here in the forum at least on 3 different days of the week. Okay? At least 3 different days of the week. Make your contributions, and please avoid to do all your contributions in one day. Please do not do that, okay? It's very penalized according to the rubric. Very well. Closure for Model 6. I have to tell you that this is obviously the last week to regularize the activities from the past units. So I'm talking about in a minute about the closing times week, okay? So please be in touch with me and our tutor on doubts or to regular one. We have to be very on a very successful communication, okay? Send with anticipation or integrative project in order to detect some areas of opportunities, some technical issues. It's very important that you send your integrative project, okay? Avoiding the last day of the module, because remember also that the platform can be very how can I say it, very specific about how many people there at the same time. So it will be very in a lost connection or intermediate, okay? So please avoid to do your integrative project on Sunday night. Participate in integrative forum according to the rubric that we already saw. Participate also in the learning forum and do all your exercise and form activities, and check the grammar and avoid translators. Please remember that we saw in the first week that you can use grammarly.com. It's a free application and it's very helpful also to do and check your grammar, okay? What about the closing times? This part I want to say it also in Spanish, and according to the times of our model, to be on time on every day. Lo que decía es que tenemos que ser tengo que ser muy clara en esta parte de los tiempos de cierre, porque para poder cerrar realmente con éxito nuestro módulo 6 necesito decirles como a mi supervisora y a la coordinación académica nuestras evaluaciones de nuestro módulo 6, ¿ok? Entonces, como primer paso, ya decía que obviamente esta es la última semana para regularizar actividades de semana límite. Deben de contactarme por mensajero o correo personal hasta el miércoles 29 de julio a las 23 horas. De manera que yo esté otorgando extensión de plataforma a más tardar el sábado 1 de agosto a las 13 horas, ¿ok? Hasta el sábado a las 13 horas. Pero tienen que contactarme más tardar el miércoles, ¿sí? Para saber que voy a tener este tiempo con algunos de ustedes extra, ¿ok? Especiales de proyecto integrador, obviamente que tengan una justificación muy real de por qué no pudieron haberlo entregado en tiempo. Solamente podríamos extendernos hoy porque nuestro módulo va a cerrar el domingo 2 y entonces tendríamos hasta el lunes 3 de agosto hasta las 12 horas para que me puedan contactar con esa urgencia de por qué no lo pudieron entregar en tiempo, y yo estaría otorgando el 3 de agosto hasta las 22 horas, ¿ok? ¿Por qué? Porque yo el domingo 2 de agosto a las 23:55 horas cierra nuestro módulo 6. Y entonces yo a más tardar el día martes 4 de agosto por la noche, foro de integración, cualquier tema, y culminado este proceso, tengo que enviar el portafolio de evidencias y yo les avisaré a ustedes por mensajero de plataforma y en el foro de novedades que he concluido la evaluación y que pueden consultar. Está en la sección de evidencias, portafolio de evidencias, y acá van a poder dar una captura de pantalla de su calificación final para que en tanto quedan los registros definitivos en SIGAPREP ustedes puedan tener una constancia de cuál fue su calificación. Recuerden que los registros en SIGAPREP tardan como 30 días hábiles en que queden ahí definitivos, y que de repente pueden haber cosas técnicas de situaciones, pueden variar las calificaciones, algo puede suceder, y entonces ustedes siempre tienen que tener, al terminar su módulo, tienen que tener su calificación respaldada con esta captura de pantalla de su portafolio de evidencias. De hecho, algunos de ustedes ya me han estado preguntando esta parte porque han notado que en otros módulos de módulos anteriores no les aparece la calificación final. Entonces es importante que realicen este ejercicio que les estoy diciendo al momento de terminar cada módulo. No se preocupen, esto que estoy diciendo ahorita muy rápido, lo voy a compartir por escrito en cuando sea el momento, en el foro de novedades y en el mensajero de la plataforma, ¿ok? ¿Hasta aquí alguna duda de los tiempos de cierre? Okay, so we have the additional resources on the news forum and on the learning forum. I have this in this section, the language tool, that is an application to improve the grammar of the English language. The Cambridge Dictionary has the words, phrases, and collocations that intermediate learners of British English needed to know. Clear, simple definitions, how the pronunciations with thousands of carefully chosen examples help students write and speak English more naturally. So I have to give you this lecture because it's very precisely this dictionary. You can use it in a very confidently, helpful for you. Okay, remember that in English you have to practice a lot. Okay, pronunciation, reading, some topics about grammar, or grammar also exercises. So this dictionary is very complete. And we also have here the Oxford University Press. It's an online exercises that give you words to form how to form a question and have to put them in order. I consider this very helpful too because I saw on week 3 that we have the Oxford University Press. It will be helpful for you to practice how to write down the questions in English, okay? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Liud. For joining me tonight. I know this hard to be here in one time, one day. Remember, this session, it will remain recorded. Link, you have a link in the calendar of the platform, on the messenger on the platform too, so you can consult or hear this session anytime you consider you want, and it will be very helpful for you, hopefully. Okay, so thank you for being here. I don't know, Anna and Eliud, if there's something you want to say here, another question maybe. Please remember to be very in touch, in communication with me. Please be in touch. This is the last week of our Model 6. So let's be very disciplined in the hard work way to really close with successful our Model 6, okay? So thank you for letting me be part of your academic process according to this Model 6. I'll make my goodbyes and everything when it's time. Okay, Anna, thank you. But you know, we can keep in touch. You have my personal email for everything you want, or anything question, or anything you really want from me. I can be very helpful, hopefully. And thank you, Eliud and Anna.